fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. This is Raul, and here is my Turbo Interceptor, also known as the Wraith Car, as I affectionately call it, but the Dodge M4S Turbo Interceptor. But as you can see, I've been doing a lot of sanding and work to this, and just doing it in stages, as just trying to show you what's involved and how it's coming out. So, as you can see all the texture on this side and all of it on there. So figured I would do a comparison where I work on one side and work on the other. Now it's coming out, working out pretty good. So we'll get some more primer on it, but I'm going to work on one side. But I figured I'd just do a quick little video here, and I'll update it as I do body work to it, so you can see where I'm going. And as I really rough it in, some of these lines I got to be careful because they go away. In the solid parts like this isn't too bad, but where the honeycomb structure is, I was starting to engrave some of them, and you poke through. There's a spot right here, a couple of spots right here where I poked through, where I was engraving that a little deeper. So I'll fill those with super glue and fill in the gaps, but got some more rounding and work to do. So I'm going to keep updating this as I continue on with the body work here, so you can see what's going on. But you know, that's half done, first round, not too bad, and I'll keep going on it, so we'll keep updating this. So stay tuned and watch how this goes. Well, here is the result after my first round of sanding and roughing it in. I mean, I've still got quite a bit of sanding to go here, but here I'm going to show you, in steps how this is going, and you can see it's smoothed out quite a bit. A lot of the areas around it, I've got plenty more to go and some areas to fix, but I haven't put any putty on this thing. Like, this is just super glue where it filled in the seam here with super glue. But it's coming out, and it's a lot of work to this point, and it's going to be a lot more work sanding it and getting it going here. But it's being that it's literally just a body. Once I get it's smooth and ready to go, but I haven't applied any putty, or I'm thinking about using super glue to fill in some of these cracks, but it's kind of like working on balsa wood as far as how this is going and shaping. But it's shaping out pretty good. As you can see, it's definitely coming out a little bit better. I got still lots of cleanup and lots of smoothing to go, and but it's getting a much more rounded, and the shape's really starting to come out. And I've got this section fairly well done. Definitely still need some more. I'm getting in the wheel wells a little bit, and on the other side, just trying to smooth it all out. But it's definitely still pretty rough in the wheel wells. But there's no putty on this thing yet, and I haven't really done any filling, but been doing lots of sanding if it's going to focus on it. But you can see it's kind of like I said, it's kind of like balsa wood, where you can see the gaps, and it's almost like wood. Haven't sanded the windows much. There's a small amount, but here I'm trying to figure out how to sand in there, how to do it, and get the lips in there. And I've got an idea or two. You can kind of see where the holes had poked through from carving this line deeper, trying to get those, because when I was doing it, you can see some of the lines disappear right here, and I'll have to carve the corners. But I have to be careful, because this being like a honeycomb construction, there's air gaps and stuff in there. So I've got a lot of smoothing and a lot of work to do, but I'll be working on those areas and some of these rough corners right here. Got to clean all that up too, and then get in there with the lights. But she's coming out pretty nice. This is all from printing. That's not my sanding. Sanding has smoothed it all out, but you can definitely see it. And some of the carving here where I was carving it, and once I primed it, you can see it kind of zigzags. So I'll have to find a way to clean that up, and I think I'll probably use my razor saw to cut a more straight line, because trying to use the panel line scriber doesn't seem to cut as smoothly with this particular material, whatever plastic this is made from. Where this one, I did a little bit right here where it started to really make it disappear, but it's coming along. But it's just going to be a bit of work here, but I think it'll look good when I'm done with it. But You know, still got lots to do, and some of these areas don't quite line up, but some of these lines, even as they're printed, aren't straight and don't line up, especially this where the window kind of disappears and goes in there. And I really haven't sanded this area, but I've sanded that. So there'll be definitely some fine tuning of these body lines, which, you know, those I haven't done anything with. That's pretty much how the side is. That's pretty much how they were, but the top was getting kind of thin, so I tried carving that. But I'll have to straighten those out, do some more work to it, but it's a lot like a balsa wood, the backside here. And even sanding in here in the wing area, which the light isn't getting in there, but that's coming out pretty nice. I got to round these corners. It's just a little bit too rounded, so I got to fix that. There's a big old hole there, and you can see some of the triangulation texture is still there, and I'll have to fix all of that too. So slowly working on it, slowly sanding on it, coming up with the ideas on how to work this body and get it done. But so I'll keep adding to this and do another round and see where I'm at, and I'll just keep updating this. But I don't want to do a whole bunch of videos on sanding and shaping on this thing, but that's 90% of what I'm going to be doing to this thing. So, and you know, working on others as well. So we'll get cranking, or keep cranking on this one, and I'll keep updating this video. Well, here we are. This is a third round of primer after the second round of some serious sanding, and it's getting there. It's quite a, you know, as in my other segments of this video, it's quite a bit of work to get it to this stage, and it's coming along. But I still haven't put any putty on this thing. It's all strictly just sanding and smoothing and primer. Like I said, this is the third round of primer after the second round of some serious sanding. And this is a different primer, just something I had laying around, and just tried it on this one, and it's working pretty well. But I still gotta, and I'm gonna start using some putty on this here real soon, because all that sanding got me to this point, which I would consider like 80% mark, and it's quite a bit of work. And I did do some cleaning up and try to recarve and work some of these lines that were vanishing, and I used my files to get this line nice and straight, some nice straight files, and you know, work these lines. Haven't done much in here. I was trying to make that a little bit better, so there's a few extra scratches, but I deepened some of that and got that a little bit better, but there's still some work to be done in there. You know, you can see this is a bit more smoothed out, and got this a little bit more straight, but still it's not 100%. And I'm not sure this thing's going to be, but I got a lot more sanding here, but you can still see some of the triangulation, but the more I sand it, the more it comes out. But I'm going to start putting putty on it and all these things. But clean this up, clean that up here a little bit, and then carve these a little bit more. Got in here a little bit with sandpaper, just shoving it through the hole here and cleaning some of the extra flash that was in there. So a lot of that's come out, and they're looking pretty decent, even though once the tire's in there you won't be able to see in there. But you know, some of the printing flash that was in there is now out, and so I've got a lot of work still to do, but you know, like I said, it's gotten to the 80% mark, and it's getting a lot better. You know, the paint has been filling in the real finer cracks, and then one of the things you can kind of see it right here. This side isn't as bad as this side, but it's still got a crown right here, and I'm going to smooth that out, which is going to take some more work here, and I'll do it with a popsicle stick as a sanding block as I sand this to kind of smooth it out and round it out. Then I'll do a little bit more, but there's still a bit of a crown there, so I'll take that out, but try not to take out some of the body lines, because I don't want this thing being perfectly flat, even though I don't truly know all of the contours. The car looks pretty flat, and I still got to work on the windows, but you know, it's going to be a lot more work, and still a lot of sanding to go. And you know, like I said, I don't want a whole bunch of videos of sanding, so I'll do probably ones like this where there'll be little tidbits, but it may be a while before you see this one again as I slowly do more body work and do more cleaning on it. And I've got in here a little bit more, a little bit better, smoothing it out, so you can just kind of see the areas that I've been working on. And this thing's nowhere near 100%, but like I said, I'm getting it to about 80% mark. Did some more cleaning up in here, but not on this piece because there's an insert that goes on there. But still got to take some of those crowns out there that you can see. But this part's coming out really nice. Roof's coming out, and even back here, getting all of this in here. Be kind of nice if the wing came off. I can really get in there, but I'm getting it in there and getting the sandpaper in there and smoothing it out. But same thing, it's popsicle stick and putting the popsicle stick and just doing this on both sides with sandpaper in between, just smoothing it out, but trying to get some of these crowns out that I'm not sure they're really supposed to be there, but they're just kind of there. But as I start laying down putty and start working it, some more of those, and then got to fine tune these lights. So it's going to be a lot more work and hours, but not a whole lot to show once I get there. So there's a lot of work just to get to this point, and I've got a lot more work to get going on that as I work on some of the others too. But thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments. I really appreciate it. You guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Saturday.